I'm an author, speaker, life and business coach, and a direct sales expert. On the King Pinyin Show, I'll introduce you to today's hottest entrepreneurs, celebrity guests, individuals who would inspire and motivate you with their stories. And as a wife and a mom, I'll show you how to balance career and family. My name is King Pinyin, and I'm here to equip, encourage, and empower lives. I'm truly honored to have you. You know, there's so many places that you could have been, but you chose to be here. I want you guys to meet Dr. Tracy Mitchell, all the way from Dallas.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Dr. Tracy Mitchell, thank you so much, Dr. Tracy. How are you?
Wonderful, fabulous. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm so glad you came.
These fabulous women, and I mean, I think she looks better than she looks fabulous. She looks wonderful.
Thank you.
It's an honor to be here. We have been traveling extensively, done a lot of things recently, but when I look around this room, I really sense that there's a level of hunger, a level of anticipation that I don't feel everywhere. So I'm excited for what's going to happen in this atmosphere this weekend.
Are you guys excited? Yes, I definitely am. I've been praying for 4.5 months, so I'm super excited about what's going on here. But the ladies really do not know you. Who is Dr. Tracy Mitchell?
Which version do you want?
Past, present, future, uncut, edited, everything.
Uncut, wow. I'll give you the 2-minute spill. How about that?
Yes.
Can I be transparent? Is it okay to be transparent here? Is that okay? Can you guys see us over there? The 2-minute spill is this. I know what it's like to grow up in a home where there's mental disease. I know what it's like to be an unwanted child. I know what it's like to be born and unwanted, to be taken to an orphanage, to later be retrieved by my blood mother. I know what it's like to grow up in abject poverty. I know what it's like to die for quarters in a back seat hoping to buy a Happy Meal. I know what pain is like. I know what divorce is like. I know what it's like to have the parents and the step-parents that raised you to divorce. But in the midst of knowing all of those things, I know one thing that's greater. And I know the enabling power of God to transform what the world would have labeled as a castaway, brokenhearted, misfit, zero chance of anything positive coming out of a life. I know what it's like to surrender to God and watch Him lead and guide and cultivate and form, and to make what the world would label a tremendous success story out of what the world had labeled a colossal failure.
Wow. How many of you think that's deep? Oh, wow. Can you guys give a round of applause for that? You know, I like what you just did, because so many people are always tempted to talk about the good side, you know, all the bling and everything that they have going on. But in this room and on this stage is all of those women that you just talked about. And I know that the story of your life is really about encouraging women. It's really about letting women know that rejection is not a big deal.
It's not.
And there's some people in here who really have been to that place, just like you. And do you have any words of encouragement for them?
You know what, I just released, and God is so faithful, because number one, I do a lot of things. Some things will, by the grace of God. One thing I'm not is a writer. I don't spell, but God has enabled me to publish with Thomas Nelson Publishers. We've got a book coming out in June, if it's okay to do a plug for that.
Yes.
June 11th, and I brought 100. Is that okay?
Can we have a copy of it?
I brought 100. Now this is pre-release, the first 100 copies of that book, and again, it's unique cover design, special edition, 100 copies, and the entire book is on rejection. And before you think, why in the world would I want to read a book on rejection? Because it's 1,001 reasons why we should embrace rejection as our golden opportunity in life. Why we should not run from rejection, but rather embrace rejection because of a truth, King. The truth is rejection is the greatest personal conductor in life that we'll ever have.
Wow.
It leads us away from dead-end relationships towards positive relationships. Relationships that we ourselves would not have the courage or the boldness or the tenacity to walk away from. It'll take us and lead us away from wrong opportunities to right opportunities. The greatest thing that we could ever do is learn to embrace rejection as not only our best friend, but our personal conductor through life.
Wow. I like that. Rejection is our personal conductor through life.
The world can be compared to a jungle. There's always something new around the next bend or some unexpected surprise getting ready to fall on you from a tree. The rules change often and fast. There is an urgency to stay one step ahead. Concrete Jungle will help you to avoid the obstacles and jungle predators. Learn how to trust your instincts, think outside of the box, and become an achiever from celebrity authors King Pinyin, Bob Proctor, Steve Rizzo, and Mark Leader. Concrete Jungle will inspire, motivate, and give you the tools you need to conquer the world. Grab your copy today from kingpinyin.com. That's kingpinyin.com. Ladies, it's time to ignite your life and become a new woman.
On the King Pinyin Show!
Get the tools to help fight for your breakthrough, mind, body, and soul. Join author, speaker, life and business coach, King Pinyin, for the Ignite Your Life Women's Conference.
I pledge to totally equip, encourage, and empower you ladies.
Log on and register today at kingpinyin.com. That's kingpinyin.com.
In the room right here, Dr. Tracy, is a group of business women. They're not your ordinary women. They're seekers. They're looking to become more. They want to have more. They want to do more. And they're part of my business. They're our business partners. We're part of a phenomenal company. And I see all of them having to deal with rejection just because of the nature of our business. And I know that you actually are a mentor to thousands of women. And by the way, I love the Winning Woman series, the one you sent to me. I totally love that. Is there anything you can, any steps you can share with them about how to better handle rejection? Because they already know it's a conductor through life just from you, and I just learned that too. But how can they better deal with it when it comes up? Because in our business, and ladies, you guys will agree, right? We're constantly in a position where people say no to us.
Yes.
So how do we keep going back after all these no's in order to come into our own?
You know, I learned one thing over decades, and I'm glad you asked that question. And this is totally unscripted. Don't you love that? One of the things that I love about rejection is I came to a very crucial apex in my life where I learned one thing. It was my aha moment on the subject of rejection, where I learned that rejection, you will either conquer it or it will conquer you. There's no shades of gray. There's no open space. You will master rejection or it will master you. And the question you posed was, how do you master it? I went through 3 phases in my life. First, I thought I could run from rejection. How many of you have tried that? The downside of that is that rejection preys on fear. And by virtue of that, your fear, you're running from rejection, rejection will always catch you and will always master you. So for the second decade of my life, when I learned that I couldn't run from rejection, I thought surely successful, intelligent, well-versed, well-read, well-scholared men and women don't face rejection, or do they? So I bought every self-help book I could find on the topic. I underlined it, memorized, could quote it. You know what? You can't intellectualize beyond rejection. You can't. You must master rejection. And so when I did the impossible, instead of running from it, evading it, trying to outsmart it, I did what I said earlier. I embraced it. And when you yield to the flow of rejection, it will take you, it will deposit you, it will lay you at the feet of why you were created. And I'm going to talk extensively on that subject tomorrow. It will position you for greatness. It will position you for greatness. No one has ever walked out of your life that is qualified to be a part of your future.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so somebody write that down for me.
Can somebody write that down?
No, seriously,
that was the Holy Spirit moment right there. I like that.
Yeah, somebody repeat that for me. No one will ever qualify for your future who is capable of walking out of your now.
Yes.
They're unqualified. The reason why, if they can't discern your goodness now, if they can't discern the wealth of potential that's within you now, why would you permit them to walk with you into your future?
Wow. That's amazing, right? You know, and I think that just helped everybody in here, because we all have to deal with that a lot. One thing that I know about you is that you wear many hats, like you clearly say, and so do all of those women in here. They're up and coming. They're trying to become a better mom, a good entrepreneur, a speaker, direct sales expert, you know, a better wife, sister. How do you juggle all of these things? Because I know you are one busy woman.
You know, we have successfully raised 4 children. Now, I know that I look 29. Thank you. Our children combined now, we raised all 4, 29, 27, 25, and 19. So juggling, it is amazing that we survived and we don't have more gray hair. Truth. I learned, and I'm sure there's an expert that will deal with stress here tomorrow, learning what's important, and more importantly, who is important. You can't take care of others if you're in the hospital yourself. Mentally, mental hospital, emotional hospital, whatever facilitator of hospital that I'm speaking of to you, a sick person can't take care of sick, can't. So learn balance. Some of the steps that King so masterfully shared with you tonight, learning to simply inhale and exhale is the beginning steps. I love what you did tonight. You brought us into the moment, into now. Evaluate. One of the greatest things that you will ever do is to master that top 10 in your life. Top 10 of who matters most, what matters most, who doesn't matter, what doesn't matter. Evaluate and lead your life accordingly.
In today's business world, success is an art form. You must continue to broaden your knowledge base to keep up with the latest trends, strategies, and ideas in order to succeed. Author, speaker, coach, and direct sales expert King Pinyin has co-authored an inspiring new book titled Mastering the Art of Success, along with celebrity authors Les Brown, Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, and many others. The authors featured in this book were specifically chosen to help you create winning habits and acquire the vital information you need to stay competitive. Reading what these authors have to share will be time well spent, and you'll pick up vital new skills. You will also learn how to make smarter decisions, enhance what works, and eliminate what does not. Each chapter in Mastering the Art of Success is like a mini coaching session that will help you achieve your personal and organizational goals. Remember, you are the author of your life. You have the power to unlock your potential, and Mastering the Art of Success will show you how. For more information and to order your copy of Mastering the Art of Success, please visit kingpinyin.com. That's kingpinyin.com.
Hey guys, we're at the University of Maryland for our 5 Links regional event with our co-founder, Mr. Jeb Tyler. We just had an amazing event. It's incredible how much fun we have while building the business. It's so good to be able to make money with people whom you trust, people whom you love. And this gentleman right here is the brain and the visionary behind 5 Links. It was incredible, and I'm looking forward to equipping, encouraging, and empowering more people with the wealth machine called 5 Links.
We just had an amazing regional event here in Maryland. King Pinyin running it, unbelievable. We are creating so many success stories all over the country. 17 cities today, over 600 people in Maryland. If you're not in 5 Links, take a look. Let's join together.
I know that you're, of course, in the ministry, besides being an entrepreneur, mom, and all of that. And in what we do, we have a chain of command, so to speak. And could you please share with us how important that is to success, following the chain of command and all that?
Of course. I believe in leadership. You can't be a good leader unless you're a good follower. First, of course, is prayer time. I believe that, heavenly instruction is first and foremost until you get a clear, definitive picture of who and what God created you to be. You will never, ever be able to successfully step into the role for which you were created. We'll talk a little bit more tomorrow about wearing masks, how labels, if we don't have a clear definitive label of who and what we were created for, it is very easy for others to pull out labels and assess who or what we qualify for, where our ending point and where our beginning point begins or ends.
Wow. How many of you like that? Are you guys learning anything?
I ask people to evaluate in what area of your life have you been fought the hardest? Been fought the hardest. Has it fought? Yeah, have you experienced conflict the most? Is it in the area of personal relationships? Is it in the area of finances? Is it in the area of your physical well-being? 9 times out of 10, and I dare say 10 out of 10, whatever works against you the most, whatever you find that attacks you, or that point of conflict, is usually the problem of which you were created to solve. And it's an entire message within itself. But 9 times out of 10, if you were created to be a financial liberator, then all of hell and heaven itself has moved against you, not only to destroy you, but sometimes heaven will move in that way to push you towards what your purpose is. I mean, I know my purpose in the earth was to create and to help mend and heal those who had severe emotional trauma in their life. And had I not experienced great emotional trauma in my life, I would in no wise be qualified as an emotional healer.
Absolutely. Wow, that was good. I was just talking about that same topic with a friend of mine literally about 2 days ago. Probably with Sarah, actually. Same question. And I'm sure all of you in here have the same question. And the tendency is always to run away from these problems instead of standing there, facing it, dealing with it, so that you too can turn around and hold somebody's hand.
What you can't not do is what you're called to do. Let me quantify that statement. For years, because of the things that I went through, I was the most shy, introverted person.
You were shy?
Trust me. I'm an introvert.
Does she look like she was shy?
By nature. I'm an introvert by nature. 100% for years. If there was a book report due at school, okay, I may have had the best book report, but I would be absent on that day because I feared the reaction and the response of others in that room. Even though I was qualified and quantified for that position, I feared what others' response would be. I would strongly, in answer to that question, begin to see, evaluate what you can't not do. There was a point in my life, again in Apex, I was a 3rd year undergrad student for law school, and I knew that there was a call of God on my life. I knew exactly what He wanted me to do, but I ran from it because I had a fear of public speaking. People say, how in the world will you ever be able to negate law and to work with it? Again, and I said, you know what, I just, there's something about it. And so I began to pursue, and I said, okay, God, I surrender. And this is no lie, and I know that we've got to end here. I'll end on this question. There was a point where I knew I was called to speak the Word of God and to teach and to train. And I remember yielding, and I said, okay, God, I'll do this. I said, I will have a little Tuesday night Bible study. And I remember being physically ill 2 weeks before I had to be there. I came this close to putting a sign on the door saying, you know what, we canceled it, we're not going to do it. And then I walked off from that little group of 20. God never will tell you that you're going to speak before 50 million in one setting, and you're terrified of 20. And I walked away from there going, that is the last time that I'll ever do this. And you know why I was back again 2 Tuesdays later? Because it was what I couldn't not do. It wasn't a choice if I wanted to do that or not. If it's what I selected to do in the earth. But what God has called you to do, you can't not do it.
Yes.
You can't not get away from it.
So it's going to be like a constant yearning in
You're
your
going to be
soul.
miserable if you don't do it.
Exactly.
Sometimes you'll be miserable when you begin to do it. But if you will keep forging ahead, joy comes if you will stay the course.
Oh my God. How many of you think that that was good? So I want to sit here and just keep talking to you, because that's what we do. I get on the phone with her and we can just talk and talk and talk. And just being able to share her with all of you, to me, it's a blessing, because I know that it's going to add so much value. So ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Tracy Mitchell.
Thank you.